Welcome back to N.Rajini Kiranmai YouTube channel. This video helps you to understand the classification of big data or different types of big data. So when you look at the different types of big data, that means the data that we are going to get in the real world environment are classified into three different categories, and that we are going to term as types of big data. Among the types of big data are the data that we are going to consider as a big data, or the data that we are going to consider in the real-time environment comes in three different formats. One, structured data. Two, semi-structured data. And third one is unstructured data. Structured data often it represents the numbers or labels that are stored in a structured framework of columns and rows relating to a preset parameters. Whereas a semi-unstructured data are loosely organized into categories using meta tags. And unstructured data is a text heavy information that is not organized in a clearly defined framework or a specific model. So to better understand these three different types of big data, let us look at each of these types. The first one I wanted to present is about structured data. The structured data is stored, accessed, and also processed in a fixed format. That means the data that we are going to get from already stored contents, that is from the database, are ordered in a correct manner. That means how they are ordered, because the databases are going to use schemas in order to store the data, in order to access the data, in order to manage the data. And the best example for the structured data is the relational data. And we know that the relational data is organized in the form of rows and columns, that is multiple tables. And each table is linked with each other with table constraints. And this structured data is very easy to enter and very easy to pose the query and very easy to analyze. Moving to the word called query. Query means is a request for the data from the database. So structured data is very easy to enter, access, and even to analyze. And there are two sources to get the structured data. One is the machine and second one is human. So the machine is going to generate the structured data. In which cases the machines are going to generate the structured data means the data that we are going to receive from sensors, weblogs, medical devices, GPS data, and the statistics that are captured by servers and the applications and the huge amounts of data that usually move through traditional platforms. All these data that are captured by these machines are in a structured way, that is ordered manner. Second source is a human, that is human is going to generate this data, like a human inputting into your computer his details like his name or other personal details, or say for example if he is clicking on the internet or his moves that he is going to do in the game. All these data is created and this is represented in the form of a structured data. Now let us move to unstructured data. This unstructured data doesn't have any defined schema or set of rules. So they are organized in an unplanned and no clear format is used to store it. That means the data, previously we said, the data we store, access, process or in a fixed format, where here in unstructured data, the data is stored, accessed and processed are not going to follow any format. No clear format is used. And how we are going to capture this unstructured data is the data that we get from videos, audios, web pages, images, social media data, free form text. All these are all the different things from where you can get the data. The best example is a GPS that is used by our smartphones, which will help the user each and every moment and provides a real-time output, and this data is an unstructured data. And sometimes the user is going to generate this unstructured data. How he is going to generate, if he is going to tweet anything or retweet anything, if he is going to do the likes or shares, comments in the YouTube or Facebook, all these data that the user is going to generate in these platforms are termed as unstructured data. And this unstructured data is also called as dark data because it cannot be analyzed without the proper software tools. A proper software tool is needed for sure to analyze this dark data. As such, with the traditional tools, it is not possible to analyze this unstructured data. Let us move to the last category, that is semi-structured data. The semi-structured data is not bound to any rigid schema. Of course, it uses it, but it is not going to follow the rigid schema. And we are not going to have any query language that is associated for this semi-schema, and that is the reason why we call it as a no SQL data. Here, the data is not in the relational format and is not neatly organized into rows and columns, like as we have done in a structured data. The difference is here we are going to have a plain text, but along with it there will be some keywords which will help us to process the document easily. So the difference between the structured and semi-structured is, in semi-structured, the data is created in a plain text so that the different text editor tools can be used to draw the valuable insight. How it is going to draw the valuable insight? Because it contains the keywords that can be used to process the document easily. Once the document is processed easily, then drawing the valuable insights all becomes easier. And the best example is the software developers who are going to use the serialization languages to write memory-based data in files. What is the serialization languages? Means the languages like Java, C++, .NET, Python, all these languages are used to write memory-based data in files. So when they are storing this type of data, they are going to use the extension formats like XML, JSON, where XML stands for Extensible Markup Language and JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So all these comes under the category of semi-structured data. And the other name for semi-structured data is no SQL data. Why it is called as no SQL? Because here the data is not organized in rows and columns. And we can't even use the query language to retrieve the data. Thank you for watching this video.